sports.
We are Black Horse. We are Wisconsin.
What a night for baseball here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, as we welcome you to beautiful Miller Park. Temperatures have cooled off. Perfect for baseball, perfect for two division leaders to go head-to-head. The Atlanta Braves and Milwaukee Brewers ready to go again in the series, off to a good start for Milwaukee yesterday. A nice comeback, down 2-0 early. The crew winds up scoring 7 unanswered runs in the 7-2 win. And Yolis Chassim was able to pace himself after a rough start and pick up another win, saving the bullpen. And tonight that sets the stage for Freddie Peralta on the hill for Milwaukee and Mike Fultonevich for the Atlanta Braves. Two outstanding young pitchers are ready to go head-to-head. Two rising stars for first-place teams. Hi, everybody. Craig Kashan and Bill Schroeder back on board here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Great night for baseball. What a series, what a homestand it's been so far for Milwaukee. And Rock, minus the big stars on some of these games, the other guys have stepped forward, some of the unsung heroes, the utility guys, if you will, out of the dugout.
Yeah, it seems like every time the Brewers call somebody up or get these guys up to the big leagues, they have an immediate impact. And in yesterday's ballgame, it wasn't Thames, it wasn't Shaw, Aguilar, Braun. It was the other guys getting it done. And that's kind of the way the homestand has been. Keon Broxton has put on an absolute show out there in center field. He did have a really good offensive game in Cincinnati. Miller's been hitting got some big hits. How about Nadorf? How about this moment here at Miller Park a couple of days ago? On their shoulders, he comes out with a curtain call. Saladino fresh off the disabled list. A big day, a big base hit. And how about Hernan Perez? 3 for 4 yesterday. Could have had a cycle had it not been for a great play in center field. 2-run home run to cap the victory in yesterday's ball game. That's the kind of offense, that's the kind of production it takes to have staying power in this division.
Freddie Peralta, the rook, with an opportunity to show what he's got against some of the best hitters in the game. Sophia Minnaert has more when we come back to Miller Park.
Baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Hupy and Abraham. Voted best, rated best. Hupy and Abraham. Tell them you mean business. By Miller Lite. Great taste and only 96 calories. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Hernan Perez had a big night at the plate, a 3-hit night, a 2-run home run, his 5th of the season, part of an 8th-inning rally, helping the Brewers come back and take the 7-2 win last night against the Braves. Good evening, everyone. Sophia Minnaert here at Miller Park. We're getting ready for Game 2 of this 4-game series between two first-place teams, the Brewers and the Braves. And for Freddie Peralta, he took his first loss of his big league career in his last start against the Cincinnati Reds, and it was a tough start to the day for Freddie Peralta. In the first inning, it took him more than 40 pitches to complete the inning. He gave up 3 runs on 4 hits, 2 walks, a wild pitch, finished with 3 strikeouts in that inning, and then he responded over his final 4 innings, did not give up a run, just allowed 1 hit, 1 walk, had 2 strikeouts in there as well. So for the young rookie, just 23 years old, it was a good lesson in how to manage that adversity and a good learning experience for him here moving forward.
For me, it was a very tough inning, the first one, and I knew that I have to be like the longer that I can in the game, because it's good for the team and it's good for the reliever pitchers and everything, for all bullpen. So I think that I learned a lot, because that make me like be concentrated in the game, forgot all that happened in the first inning and just compete in the next ones. So that was what I did, yeah.
Freddie Peralta taking the mound for the second time here at Miller Park. The last time he pitched at home, it was 7 shutout innings. Can he shut down this Braves offense? Here tonight, we've got first pitch and lineups coming up next on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
A swing and a miss. He strikes out the last 3.
A swing and a miss, and Peralta keeps it going.
A strikeout for Peralta.
And he strikes out the side again.
15 in a row, he's retired. How about 10 strikeouts? And a standing ovation on his way out. And Brewer fans excited to see this guy back out on the hill. Only his second big league start in his home stadium. Freddie Peralta will get set to warm up here. We are getting very close to first pitch. Sophia Minnaert down near the dugout. Bill Schroeder up in the booth with me. Craig Kashan, great to have you aboard here. 69 degrees. Sun still out on a beautiful Friday night. And let's take a look at the Atlanta Braves batting order. Brian Snitker and his Braves were shut down yesterday for the most part. Just 3 hits, 2 runs. Inciarte, Albies, Freeman, and Markakis, the first 4, some of the top hitters in the game. Suzuki, Camargo, Acuna, Swanson, and Fultonavich round out the Braves batting order. And Freddie Peralta ready to go to work.
Yeah, last time out on the Miller Park mound, a win against Kansas City. 7 innings, no runs, only 1 hit allowed, 10 punch outs. Took a loss his last time out against Cincinnati. It was a rough start, but a good recovery. Went 5 innings, only 3 runs, but used 93 pitches to get through 5 innings.
And that first pitch, a strike for Freddie Peralta. He's off to a good start here. Ender Inciarte, 253 hitter coming into tonight's game, and has fallen behind, looking 2 strikes. Inciarte last night in game 1, 1 for 3. He was also hit by a pitch.
Yeah, hit by a pitch in the first inning, a leadoff batter. Then it was a triple. Atlanta would take a 2-0 lead, but that was it. That's all they could get.
Yeah, Ulysses Chassin really settled down nicely yesterday for Milwaukee. He's going to join us in a little while here to talk about his start and how the Brewers are closing out some fine play here as we about a week away heading into the All-Star break. Closing out a homestand here before they go on a week-long road trip into that All-Star break. 2-2 on the way. Count runs full.
That's going to be a big pitch right there, that curveball. It was a big pitch last night for Chassin, who's had a terrific curveball as of late. Got a lot of strikeouts, a lot of swings and misses on that curveball last night. So you figure that's going to be a key for Freddie.
Three-2 on the way from Peralta, and he misses down low. So a walk to open things up for Inciarte.
Check out the Brewers defense. You got Braun, Yelich, and Thames in the outfield. Eric had yesterday off. Thames in right. You got Shaw, Swanson. I should say Saladino at shortstop. I had the wrong name written down in my scorebook. Miller, Aguilar on the right, and Manny Pena behind home plate. Getting ahead of myself here.
Rock, aren't you doing enough today?
Nah.
We had another good pregame show together up here in the booth.
It's been fun up here, hasn't it?
We were talking to some of the players before the game as Ozzie Albies steps in, and I'm filling in for the first time all season long this weekend here in this chair. So we're kind of doubling up duties here, but this is how it goes every now and again. And
it's been great, right?
Those guys in the dugout have been good to us, giving us some good information, some good feedback, some good critiques. We were joking around with them. It's they're good shows, they're good telecasts as long as you keep winning, right?
That's right. Makes it easy. It makes getting interviews a lot easier, doesn't
right.
it? Guys are wanting to talk right now. Of course, they're always good about that, regardless.
Yeah, it's all good. Good group down there for sure. 0-1 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss there. 0-2 now to Albies. 7 for his last 14. This guy's one of the top hitters going right now. His 104 hits coming in, ranked 3rd. The Braves, Albies, Freeman, and Markakis, 3 of the top 4 hitters in the National League when it comes to hit totals. And Albies last night a thorn in Brewer pitching side, if you will, with a double and a triple.
And both pitches, both hits coming on pretty much the same pitch. Fastballs down and in. It's a good area to stay away from.
Albies with those 2 extra base hits yesterday has 49 now to lead the league. And we saw his speed on the base paths yesterday as well. That's why he's got extra base hits. He can turn a single into a double and a double into a triple. Peralta delivers the 1-2. This one's fouled off to the third base side, out of play.
Yeah, and the guy on base right now can run 23 stolen bases. He's not afraid to take off.
Peralta just turned 22 last month. And what a start to his big league career, and what a boost he has meant to his teammates here in Milwaukee. High again, missing 2-2 now is the count.
Yeah, Freddie got ahead of Inciarte quickly, not able to put him away, ended up walking him. And now he's got a 2-2 count after getting ahead of Albies 0-2.
See the lead over there. Peralta wants to pay attention to Inciarte over at first base, but he's got a tough task at the plate here in a 2-2 count as well. Brewers fell behind by 2 runs in the opening frame in last night's game. Don't want to make a habit of that against this Atlanta Braves team.
Yeah, you hold the Atlanta Braves to only 3 hits. You've done something. Good pitching last night. It's not often that Brian Snitker has to watch his offense get held down like that.
Well, the Braves have lost 3 in a row, and that's their longest losing streak of the season. They're the only team in the league that has lost 3 games or fewer and no more. And that's only happened 3 times this season. And the count runs full here, so just like at his last start, Freddie Peralta with some command issues to start out here in the first inning. Trying to get that solved. Runner goes, 3-2 on the way, and this one hammered down the right field line, I should say, into foul territory.
That ball hammered off the facing of the club level up there. Wow. That ball was smoked. Got out in front of it. It hooked foul as it got down to the foul pole. Well, hitters know if you don't have that curveball, they're going to sit on fastball and they'll be able to turn on anything, no matter how hard it is. If that's all you can throw for strikes.
9th pitch of this at bat to Albies on the way here from Peralta. Runner goes again. This one into left field, falls in, base hit. Inciarte to third, throw into second, gets away. Albies on his way, Inciarte on his way home, throw to third, and there's the out they were looking for. But the Brewers give up a run, and 2 fast base runners putting pressure on Milwaukee's defense.
Well, forcing an error. Ball gets away. They do get an out at third base, but Inciarte with some aggressive base running able to score. It'll go as a double for Albies. Slices one down the line. Not a bad pitch, only 91 miles an hour. Inciarte running on the pitch. He's going to make third base easily. And that's probably going to be an error on Miller. Not a bad throw. And they get him at third base.
So base is empty, 1 down, a run in for Freddie Freeman. Freeman 4th in the league with 101 hits. .305 batting average, 16 home runs and 57 RBIs for Freddie Freeman. Brewers held him in check last night, 0 for 3.
It's going to be an error on Miller. Not able to handle the throw at second base, allowing Inciarte to score.
Of course, we know that Miller, before he came over to Milwaukee last month, primarily playing first base, so they're trying to get him reacquainted to some old spots in that middle portion of the infield. Has been playing some short, some second. And this one, a fair ball right down the line past Aguilar, and Freeman is going to trot into second base. Ground rule double is going to be the call.
Kind of reminds you a lot of the start that Freddie had in Cincinnati, although he does have an out already. Took him a while to get his first out. A piece of hitting by Freddie Freeman just to get that one inside the first baseline. Curved ball, it was down, but over the heart of the plate. Kind of a defensive swing, just trying to lay the bat on the baseball, and he doubles down the line. Not a bad pitch by Peralta. A good pitch, but a good hitter able to double on it.
So Freeman, his first hit in the series. That brings up Nick Markakis now, the cleanup hitter, the right fielder. Talked about all these guys in the top 4 in hitting. This guy leads the league right now. First in hits, Nick Markakis, 319 on the season, 10 home runs and 58 RBIs. The Braves putting pressure on Freddie Peralta here early.
It's been the story of the Atlanta Braves in the first half. Offense and good starting pitching.
And Peralta does not want that pitch count to hike up too much higher right now. It's at 22 to open things up. Still only 1 out here in the opening frame.
And the fastball in 90-91. Right out of the gate, so velocity down a little bit for Freddie.
This one hit hard. Left center field. Yelich on the way in makes the catch. There's your second out.
They all can cover ground out there. Christian Yelich. Hey, let's check out our Pizza Ranch for the win tonight. Let's see if the Brewers are going to be aggressive on the bases again. They stole 3 last night. Kurt Suzuki, the catcher tonight, for Atlanta, has only thrown out 1 of 19 would-be base stealers. You got to cash in. Situational hitting is going to be important. Fulton Avich has only allowed 2 home runs in his last 10 starts, so he keeps the baseball in the ballpark. And as usual, that curveball is going to be a big pitch for Freddie Peralta. He's got to have it. It was a good one for Chacin last night, and a very effective one.
Here's Kurt Suzuki, the catcher. Did not play in last night's game. 284 in the season for him, 8 home runs and 29 RBIs. Good offensive catcher to have on your roster. He's reached base in each of his last 12 games. Count evens up on Suzuki. Now, these are some of the growing pains that a young pitcher has to go through, and sometimes it's that first inning. Happened at Cincinnati. A lot of pitches here in this first inning, trying to limit the damage, though, to just the 1 run. Has to pick up another out.
And it really hasn't been an issue for him until his last couple of starts.
Right.
I mean, first inning issues, he's been pretty good. I mean, you have to be pretty good when you're limiting the opposition to, low hit totals. I mean, he hadn't given up a whole lot of hits. 5 hits against the Reds.
Boy, and he made such a splash at his first few starts. The first rookie in the live ball era to fan 10 batters or more in 2 of his first 4 games. Only allow 1 hit. First Brewer ever to have 2 games in his career like that. Set the bar pretty high for yourself.
And he's got a lot of learning to do. I mean, he's doing it on just sheer stuff. And his ability to, hide the baseball, very sneaky fast.
1-2 on the way. That curveball misses down and away. There's Derek Johnson
Charting the pitches. We'll go through that after the start sometime, maybe next couple of days.
A lot of preparation for each game by a pitching coach and his staff. And again, Peralta misses down and away, so the count runs full. There'll be at least 30 pitches here for Peralta in the first inning. Craig Counsell, Brewer manager, watching. Little first inning stress.
Every inning stressful for the manager.
That's right. Big pitch coming up here, the 3-2. And this one down the right field line. Thames giving a chase, leans out, and does he make the catch? He's got it. What a play by Eric Thames. He's not used to right field, but looked like a Gold Glover right there, laying out. Not an easy play at all. And that ends the inning and limits the damage to just 1 run. Batting order for the first time here. It's going to be Eric Thames to lead off for Milwaukee. Then Christian Yelich, Jesus Aguilar, Travis Shaw back to the cleanup role. Ryan Braun bats fifth tonight. Brad Miller at second. Manny Pena behind the plate. Tyler Saladino will hit eighth ahead of the pitcher Freddie Peralta. And Eric Thames will take his spot there. Did not play in yesterday's game as Craig Counsell loaded up the right-handed bats, and he will face Mike Foltynewicz out on the hill, Rock.
Yeah, this is a good young power pitcher for the Atlanta Braves. That 2.02 earned run average, second best in the National League. Only Jacob deGrom has been better. 186 opponent batting average at second. He's seventh in strikeouts. You get the message. This guy's pretty good.
First pitch, a strike into Eric Thames. And with the bases empty, this guy has a pretty good pace about his game out on the mound. Freddie Peralta does too. He just ran into trouble walking that first batter who ended up scoring. But very fortunate. The damage was limited to just that one run. That was a long first inning, 30 pitches. Thames with 12 home runs on the season.
99 first inning. His cruising speed ordinarily is about 96 miles an hour, but he's reaching back already tonight. And with short starters last time out, 5 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 9 strikeouts. And there's his first punch out tonight.
So Thames goes down. Quick work, Foltynewicz. Let's look at his defense behind him.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're in the top 5 in defense. Acuna, Inciarte, and Markakis in the outfield. Camargo, big time throwing arm over at third base. Swanson Albies up the middle. Freddie Freeman at first. And Kurt Suzuki behind home plate. Suzuki's had his issues throwing out base runners.
Well, the Brewers were able to get some base runners on throughout the game yesterday to put pressure on that Atlanta defense. There's Christian Yelich. 289, 11 home runs, 35 RBIs. He made a nice running catch in that opening frame and Thames had that diving play in the right field corner to end it. Yelich with good numbers against Fultonevich, 9 for 20 for a 50 clip. And Yelich cannot check his swing. A ball and 2 strikes. Yelich last night, part of that insurance run 8th inning. He had the RBI double, slow roller to second base. Albies takes care of him for the second out. James Hoy calling balls and strikes behind the plate. As we take a look at our umpiring crew, Marvin Hudson out at first, Quinn Wilcott at second, and Jeff Kellogg at first tonight. 4-game series. Brewers took game 1 on Thursday, and the Braves have the early lead just like they did last night here, so the Brewers will have to play from behind. Done that very well this season. They have 22 come from behind wins,
including yesterday's victory.
and Jesus Aguilar doing some digging over there in his spot, trying to get himself comfortable.
Get a good foothold.
I say get him as comfortable as possible.
Yeah, on 100 miles an hour.
And quickly 0-2.
You got that, slider at 90. There's some really good young arms in the National League these days. Guys who can just flat out bring it. Fultonevich has had his growing pains. He's had a few rough seasons with the Atlanta Braves, but they stuck with him. And they're reaping the benefits now.
Now, he has turned into one of the premier pitchers and could easily be named to the All-Star team. His ERA at 2.02 is 3rd best in the National League.
Started his career with the Houston Astros. He made 16 appearances out of the bullpen. Has been a starter with the Atlanta Braves since 2015.
They've got some good young stars on that pitching mound as starters, and the Brewers are seeing most of them here in this series. Pop up, and this one may get out of play, and does. Aguilar in this homestand just 2 for 14, does not have a home run. A couple of RBIs. So his bat a little bit quiet here while some of the other Brewers picking up the offense.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt as much when you're not getting your hits when your team is 4-0 in that stretch. A 4-0 homestand so far for the Brewers.
And there's another strikeout as Aguilar goes down. Fultonevich a quick first inning.
Fans packed in here at Miller Park. Game 2 between the Brewers and the Braves. Atlanta with a 1-0 lead here in the second. And for Game 3, looking ahead tomorrow afternoon, it will not be Brent Suter making his scheduled start. The Brewers placed him on the 10-day disabled list earlier this afternoon with left forearm tightness. Now, this was an injury that popped up for him in the first inning of his last start Monday against the Twins. He was able to continue to pitch in that outing. He would finish with 5 innings in that day. And he said he was just trying to get the soreness out. He reported that to the trainers, and they were hopeful that he could get back in time. But he said just not enough time in order to make the start tomorrow. So it will be Aaron Wilkerson called up from AAA Colorado Springs. He will start in Suter's place. And so Craig Counsell said they're hopeful it's just a minor strain. Hopeful it'll just be one start missed for Suter in the rotation. Possible he could come back for that final series in Pittsburgh, but no timeline yet in terms of when Suter will rejoin the rotation.
Okay, Sophia, and the saga of trying to keep guys healthy continues, but so far so good as far as, you know, the call-ups from AAA or whatever situation the Brewers have faced. They've really come out on the plus side for the most part, and they hope they can do it at least 1 or 2 more times here to get through the All-Star break.
Yeah, they've covered injuries and lack of production extremely well so far this year. Been impressive.
These two have done a great job. Craig Counsell keeping things together, and Derek Johnson, the pitching coach. A lot of players up and down. One down here for Peralta as he faces Acuna. Ball and 2 strikes to the Braves left fielder. Peralta could use a nice quick inning here. 30 pitches, and he only gave up 1 run in that first inning. That's the good news. Trying to settle in here. Camargo retired on the fly ball. Now Acuna and Dansby Swanson waits on deck here in the second inning. Peralta getting ahead in the count early on several batters and then falling behind. Pena sets the target. Strike 3 called.
That's about as good as it gets right there. Right on the edge at the knees. And he got the ring up. And James Hoy, home plate umpire, liked it. That's because he hit the glove of Manny Pena. Didn't have to move it hardly. Got the call. You're not going to do much with that even if you swing at it.
Here's Dansby Swanson, the shortstop. 0 for 3 in yesterday's game. Peralta had a strike here to open up against Swanson. One 0 Braves here in this second inning. And the 1-1 misses away. Peralta trying to get through this second inning here and save some pitches.
There it is. Able to drop it down in the strike zone. Swanson was the first-round draft choice of the Diamondbacks. First overall pick in 2015. Came over to the Braves in that Shelby Miller deal.
2-2 on the way from Peralta. This one fouled away. It's amazing when you look up and down this Braves roster how many overall #1 picks, well, I should say overall, but #1 first-round picks either from their organization or who they acquired via trade.
Yeah, they own a lot of big payroll over the last few years. Got some young players and now reaping the benefits.
2-2 on the way. Misses just outside.
And the whole infield running toward the dugout. Looked like it was off the plate, though. Yep, it was off the plate.
Another full count situation for the Brewers starter. 3-2 on the way. Fouled back. Oh, it made me go.
You all right?
I wasn't looking your way.
Don't worry, I was protected. That was a major flinch, man.
That was a good one.
You all right?
I wasn't looking your way. I saw that big paw. I thought you had your catcher's mitt on.
I thought you pulled something there.
Oh,
yeah.
It's a good thing the cameras weren't on us.
Oh, they are. They're always
yeah,
on.
that's true.
They've got that, you know.
Shaw picks it up, makes the play just in time. Well, good second inning. No runs for the Braves, and we're going to be talking to Yolis Chassin here when we come back to Miller Park, going to the bottom of the second inning. Half of inning number 2, they trail the Braves 1-0 here early at Miller Park, and we go down to the dugout and welcome in Yolis Chassin, yesterday's winning pitcher for Milwaukee, getting the Brewers off to the series against the Braves on a good note. Yolis, thanks for taking some time for us, and nice win for you yesterday.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Yeah, no problem. Happy to be with you guys here.
Let's talk about that start yesterday. A little bit kind of like what Freddie Peralta went through here tonight. The first inning, a little rough for you, but you were able to bounce back and give this club 7 really strong innings. Tell us how you were able to first settle down there early in the game yesterday.
Yeah, start off with the hit-by pitch with a 2-strike. I was trying to throw back to a slider, and I hit him. And then Albies got the triple there. After that, we were just trying to make pitches, trying to get the first guy out, and it was a little tricky there when threw to first, loopy throw to first, and then Albies scoring the throw. But after that, we're just trying to throw zeros. So we scored 1 run in the bottom of the first, and I said, you know what, we got to go out, try to throw zero, trying to throw less pitches, and trying to go 7. That was my mindset, go at least 7. We knew it. I knew that we got a couple guys unavailable yesterday, so I really want to help the bullpen a little bit, and I want to go 7.
Travis Shaw, fly ball to right, and it's going to be caught out there by Markakis for out number 1.
Yolis, it seems like that curveball, I guess that you're calling it a curveball, right? The curveball was a really good pitch for you, and it's been a good pitch for you for now maybe a handful of starts in a row, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mix it on my curve, my slider really well. I feel that I can throw my curve a little bit slower than my slider, and that different velocity thing helped me a lot. And then with my four seam, my sinker, and sometimes it goes a little bit arm side, and sometimes hang, sometimes quick pitch. So I'm trying to change timing of the hitters, and like I said, just trying to try different things and trying to get off their timing.
Yeah, it seemed like you were backdooring that curveball a little bit to the left-handers. You do that by design, or is that just the way it kind of worked out?
Yeah, actually last year was the first year that I started doing that. And
Braun hits this one a long ways, and a nice running catch out there by Inciarte.
yeah, last year that's when I started throwing more of those backdoor curve and slider to lefties, and it worked out very well. Always lefty I have problem with the lefties a little bit more than the righties, so that was a good pitch there that I learned how to throw it, and just working out the last few years.
You got to congratulate you guys. You guys, the starting rotation has really started to put things together. The last couple of months, you guys have been very consistent, eating up innings, and that's always a good thing for a lot of reasons. But I think a lot of it, you know, the bullpen stays strong when you guys are able to pitch deep into games.
Yeah, definitely. That's one of my main things, trying to go deep in games, trying to help the bullpen. It's a long season, and they have pitched a lot too. So I'm really glad that we haven't been able to go a little bit deep in games, so we can give them a little bit more rest, and you know, for second half they're being strong too.
All right, Yolis. Well, listen, we'll appreciate your time, and good luck here the rest of the way. Come on, and let's see if this one's going to go for Miller to the wall again. Oh, wow. We'll have to bring you back on, my friend, when the offense gets cranked up. Nice job, Yolis.
Thank you.
That's Yolis Chacin, yesterday's winner in Game 1. Brewers, some long, loud outs here in the second, but they still trail 1-0. Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. By Ascension, coming together to give healthcare a better name, we are Ascension. And by Wisconsin Dells, the water park capital of the world. Beautiful night here at Miller Park. Top of the third we go. The Braves a 1-0 lead over Milwaukee. It's great to hear from Yolis Chacin, who won yesterday's game, 7 strong innings. Very confident veteran presence. How much has that guy meant to this team?
No kidding. I mean, he got off to a bit of a shaky start. I mean, not giving up a lot of runs, but not able to pitch really deep in the game. Pitch counts got away from him, but he has been far and away the most consistent starter, along with Junior Guerra, all season long for the Brewers. Fulton good year for him.
Yep, Fulton-Avich to lead off here for the Braves, and it's one thing, you know, when you talk to General Manager David Stearns about that acquisition, certainly when that happened during the offseason, you know, the Brewers maybe went for somebody not on the radar, but boy, they picked a good one.
Yeah. And it wasn't one of those big headline deals picking up Chassin, but it's turned out to be a really shrewd move by David Stearns for sure.
Has not missed a start, been very consistent. Team won 12 of his first 15 starts. And then won again yesterday.
And once again, Freddie Peralta getting ahead in the count, but having a difficult time putting these guys away. Been a lot of 0-2, 1-2 counts.
Strike three right down there in the corner. And there is out number one as he strikes out the pitcher Fultonevich.
Well, just the way he struck out Acuna, pretty much the same spot. That one only 89 miles an hour. Good location down and away.
Freddie Peralta from the Dominican Republic, just 22 years old, the Brewers' number 9 prospect heading in to the 2018 season. It's his 6th big league start here tonight as he faces Ender Inciarte in the top of the order now for the 2nd time. And really, the more Peralta keeps performing, the more you got to think that he'll be sticking around in that rotation, Ron.
Guy's still hurt, still trying to come back. Zach Davies still having an issue with that back. Wade Miley not ready. Red Suter just goes on a disabled list, so that buys him some time. That's an unfortunate injury for the Brewers. Suter's been throwing the baseball pretty well.
Yeah, that was a bit of a surprise coming to the ballpark today and learning about that. Strike three call. Inciarte knew it. All 3 strikeouts were called strike.
And that one right on the inside corner. Hey, this Sunday, all fans of the Brewers series finale against these Braves will take home a retro Robin Yount 1970s replica jersey courtesy of Orbis Corporation. To book your seats, go to brewers.com/tickets.
Ozzie Albies steps in now, batting for the 2nd time tonight. Fly ball. Center field for Yelich as he calls off Thames. And a nice quick inning for Freddie Peralta here in the 3rd. Brewers coming up, trailing by a run. After that, the Dodgers take on Mike Trout of the Angels at 6 Central on Fox. You can stream it on the Fox Sports app if you can't watch it on the networks. And Eric Karros now joins us in the booth. He's going to be on the call tomorrow here at Miller Park for Game 3 of the series between the Braves and the Brewers. Good to see you again.
Yeah, good to be here. I'm happy that I can give you guys a day off tomorrow. That's why you guys are excited, right?
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Oh, you're our best friend right now.
Right? That's
good
awesome.
stuff.
Yeah.
Well, who would have thought, Eric, coming into this series not long ago, really, before the season started, Braves, Brewers, two of the best records in the National League. Big weekend here.
Right, it really is. And you know, you mentioned it. If you would have said, 2 months ago that this game would have been one of the top games going on in July, I would have said, yeah, I don't know about that. But you've got two of the top ball clubs here. You know, the Brewers, with the moves that they made in the offseason and where they ended last year, you kind of expected, look, they're going to be a team that's going to compete for a playoff spot. Now, the best record in the National League, they're in a poised position right now to, this year, compare them to last year and this year, I think a move has to be made. Last year they don't make a move. The Cubs go out and make a move.
And there's a base hit off the glove of Swanson. Good effort out there, but Manny Piña's aboard.
I don't think they make the same mistake twice. It's something where the Brewers have done everything. They went out, they made some moves, and look, they've still got an opportunity to improve this ball club. And I think they owe it to the fans, and I think the ownership will go out and do something to make this club even better than it already is.
I think the biggest surprise, though, Eric, is I think everybody in the offseason thinking about the Brewers need starting pitching. Starting pitching has been very good for the Brewers, and a lot of the guys, unknown, actually, the Brewers would like to be able to bolster the middle of the infield, get a bat in there.
Well, and again, that's something that I don't think that they counted on having or expected to have to go out and find somebody to play shortstop. I mean, things just haven't translated with Arcia. It's the starting pitching would be great, and if you go middle of the infield, that probably betters your opportunity to get to the postseason. A starting pitcher, though, I think gives you an opportunity to go somewhere in the postseason. Every team needs a horse, and if you don't have a horse,
How about this? Tyler Saladino way out of here. And the Brewers grab a 2-1 lead on Saladino's 4th home run. Well, they were hitting the ball hard for outs in the 2nd inning, and Saladino, the 8th hitter, hits it even harder and gives Milwaukee the lead.
I think they heard us up here, Rod. They said, forget that middle infield. Go after the starting pitching.
Yeah, check out the gauntlet. I mean, this is something that we all look forward to here in Milwaukee. But, Eric, the thing about it is, it's not the household names right now that are doing it for the Brewers in this 4-game winning streak. It's the guys like Saladino, Broxton, Miller, guys like Hernan Perez, who's a big name, and production from guys that you don't expect, maybe bottom of the order guys. That's how you stay consistent throughout the year.
Well, it really is, and I think one of the things too is when you start having success, and Saladino, coming right off the disabled list, had a few hits the other day. You start believing that you're good, and that's half the game in this. Playing in the big leagues and even playing baseball, the mental part. If you start thinking you're that good, and you start believing, it doesn't matter what the outside world thinks, and you can go out and you can have success. And the more and more success that these guys have, the more and more they'll believe in themselves.
Eric, I think the one thing, and you just witnessed it here, that we've seen a big change with this club is the enthusiasm. Watch the reaction for Saladino. I mean, this is what this Brewer club has turned into. It's not to patronize anybody else, the opposing team. They're quite a group of guys over there in that dugout.
Well, it's infectious, too. I mean, you see him, he hits a home run, the tongue comes out, he's excited. And again, it's just like you mentioned, it's not trying to show anybody up. It's genuine enthusiasm. And that's something that, the fans like to see that. The club likes to see it. It rubs off on the rest of the guys. And look at Milwaukee has earned every right to celebrate because they've gone out and they've played, they played extremely well. I think they play like their manager used to play. Counts as far as just going out, grinding. And it's been a joy to watch this first half.
Yeah, what is the national perception of Craig Counsell as a manager, in your opinion?
Well, see, I'm a little biased because I had an opportunity. I roomed with Counts when he was with the Dodgers in spring training, and so the perception is what he did last year. You know, his ability to be even keel, to take what he's given and not say we need more or hey, we need this. This is what I've got. I'm going to go out and compete. And like I said, that's really what his character was when he played. You know, he wasn't the most talented guy, but he made himself, you know, a very valuable and a world champion, very valuable big league player.
Do you think that's big for guys like we just saw Saladino's home run? They've got some guys on this team right now that kind of came up kind of the same way he did right now. Just to know that he had that success and he can see the success coming up with these guys.
You hit it right on the head, and I think it also allows him to relate to those guys. And he can understand what they're going through, and he can help them navigate through their ups and downs. And you know, there are a lot of guys that, you know, whether Brad Miller was basically, you know, released for all intents and purposes. You know, you got Saladino here, you know, Sogard, who did such a wonderful job, you know, before he was, you know, released. You know, he was that type of guy that last year, I mean, played such a huge role. And you know, Counts is just a quality guy. I mean, that's just.
Yeah, let's switch gears a little bit. I mean, bigger surprise in your opinion? Atlanta Braves, Milwaukee Brewers in first place, or what the Washington Nationals are doing right now?
What the Nationals are doing.
It's crazy, isn't it?
That is blown me away. And look, I thought the injuries would play a part, but I didn't. Ouch.
Well, Yelich got it there. And he just missed some action without having to go on the DL, and you hope that's not serious.
One of those 90-mile-an-hour sliders. He's throwing a slider today, Eric, at 91 miles an hour. You know, this guy's got filthy stuff.
I mean, this thing just bearing in. Oh, ow, ow.
Knee,
that's on the inside part of the back knee.
Yeah,
that's no bueno.
That's rough.
That is not going to feel good at all later on. Well, it's, you mentioned, Rock, I mean, 91-mile-an-hour slider, heck, 91-mile-an-hour fastball back in the day was bringing it, right?
Right, yeah. Nobody was throwing 90.
Yeah, right.
Nobody's throwing 97, 98.
Jeez.
But what do you think the Nationals do? I mean, that's a big story in baseball. Bryce Harper is really having what you consider a down season. He's been not really all that great last couple of months.
Well, one of the things the Nationals have going for them is they've got a ton of games against the Marlins and the Mets. And, you know, if they can just do what every other club seems to be doing against those teams, you know, they're going to find themselves right back in the hunt. And you can't expect them to be down the entire time. They fortified their bullpen. You know, is Harper going to hit 200 the rest of the way? You know, I just wouldn't bet on that.
Is the American League playoff pretty
done.
much set
That's
already?
done. We're done with that.
Yeah.
Hard to believe, isn't it?
We know that thing is. What we got? We got Astros, Red Sox, Yankees, Mariners, and Cleveland, right?
Yeah.
You know, that's done.
Cleveland, right? Yeah.
That sucker is.
Safeway.
They're just, yeah.
Eric, what do you think of Jesus Aguilar, the guy that's batting right now, and his storyline? You know it from you know, doing well last year as a pinch hitter for the most part, and then really barely making the club at spring training.
Right.
Didn't get to start until 2 weeks in.
First home run near the end of April, right?
And this one, dead center field, and long call for Aguilar off the scoreboard. A 3-run pop. And the fireworks going off here for Eric Karros. Welcome back to the booth.
I'll clap for that. I got Aguilar on my fantasy team. Jeez, that almost hit his picture up there.
Yeah. That hit above the Miller light sign, above the batter's eye. And that second home run that Fulton Average has allowed today, and he had gone 10 starts allowing only 2 home runs. Goodness gracious. You know what Aguilar is, Eric? He's a good hitter with power. He's just not a home run hitter.
Right. Well, yeah, and that's the thing. You know, the approach, his ability to drive in runs, his ability to hit with 2 strikes. I mean, we were looking at his numbers the other day, and you know, what he does with 2 strikes, you know, it's phenomenal. And it goes to your point, Rock, that the guy just is a flat-out hitter with power.
It had that sound on it.
First home run since June 28th. So Aguilar's had a quiet homestand, and
sometimes it's all it takes to get them going.
Wow. I still can't believe how far that thing.
What's that, about a week? That's not that long.
This one into left for Shaw. And there's out number 2. 5 runs in here in the 3rd inning. You may have to stick around for another inning or 2.
Aguilar's first home run was April 21st. His first RBI the 19th of April.
Right. That's crazy, right?
And look what he's done.
Yeah. I mean, look at it. That's a man that should be playing, you know, in the All-Star game. I don't think there's any question. This Brewers ball club, you're talking about the best record in the National League. You know, do you get 4 guys on the team? I mean, you got to figure you got Hader and Aguilar, you know, Kane if he's healthy, Yelich, you know, a possibility.
Jeremy Jeffress out of the
Jeffress has to be out of the bullpen.
Yeah, right.
No voted in starters as starters for Milwaukee, but they could load up that All-Star roster.
And they should,
yeah.
And deservedly so.
Ryan Braun sharply into right center, a base hit. So this inning continues against Fultonavich, and who would have thought 5 runs on the board for Milwaukee here in this 3rd inning.
You know, and I think this is, you always talk about how hard is a guy throwing and velocity. You know, the guy throws 98. But if you don't hit your spots, and we're watching it right now, you know, the Brewers are teeing off right now. And Fultonavich has as good an arm as anybody in the big leagues. And he can light up a radar gun all day long. But you don't hit your location, it ain't happening for you.
He's had 11 starts this year, allowing one run less.
Yeah.
1 run or 0. Easy for me to
That's
say.
It. I knew what you were saying, Rock.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for bailing me out.
Well, Brad Miller bats here as the 9th hitter to go through this order. So the Brewers bat around, scoring 5 runs here off Fultonavich. And all of a sudden the bats have come alive, and for the 2nd straight night they have come back after falling behind early. And now it's going to be up to a guy like Freddie Peralta. What a splash he made early in his young career and trying to keep her going right now.
Yeah, without question. I mean, his first few starts, excellent. He had a little hiccups against Cincinnati, I believe, his last start.
And there was called strike on Brad Miller. Well, we'll see what he does when he comes back out. How about that? A 5-run inning with Eric Karros on tap. He's got the game tomorrow on FS1, so we wish you the very best, and thanks again for stopping in. And we'll see if the Brewers can provide those fireworks for you as well. Emotions run differently with players. Look at Saladino. Tongue out, big home run for him. Jesus Aguilar. Yeah, I know it's gone. Calm, cool swing. 5-1 Milwaukee.
For all military by sharing a photo or video with hashtag #HatsOffForHeroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
Okay, back here at Miller Park, Tyler Saladino, the Brewers shortstop, with a big home run. 2 home runs for Milwaukee. Aguilar the other, a 2-run pop and a 3-run pop for Aguilar. And the Brewers a 5-1 lead. We go to the top of the 4th inning. Freddie Peralta back out there, and if he keeps going the way this pitch count, he'll be in good shape, Rock. 30 in that 1st inning, only giving up a run. 16 in the 2nd. Didn't give up any, and then only 8 pitches in that 3rd inning.
Yeah, again, I mean, you know, being able to get ahead in the count and then being able to come up with a put-away pitch. He's been able to do that in the last couple innings.
"12 consecutive games now for the Brewers, hitting a home run."
That Aguilar home run, one of the longest we've ever seen here at Miller Park, in center field. My goodness.
Now that was almost halfway up the video scoreboard here, I believe. Check it out. Wow. He's ready to knock some lights out up there.
Yeah, that actually did hit off the top of the Miller light sign, and my goodness. Wow.
Those are what you see during batting practice. And a liner, nope, on the one hop. Aguilar takes care of Freddie Freeman for the 1st out. His swing is smooth. There's no question about that. So is his personality.
It was good what you were saying when we went to break. I mean, the 2 different facial expressions.
Yeah.
Saladino just couldn't believe it. Yeah, I hit one, and Aguilar just, oh, I hit another one.
Yep, there it goes. You know, watch that one fly.
Not surprised. Number 20.
It's amazing stuff he has put together as he solidifies first base. And the good news is there's been a spot for now for Eric Thames in the Brewer outfield. He's out there in right field again as he continues to go distance as well.
Terrific catch in the 1st inning.
Yes, indeed. See, you get a little more comfortable the more you play out in a certain spot, right?
That's what they say.
Peralta settling in here in the 4th inning. Pitching with a 4-run cushion right now. That's got to help out the young rookie. Brewers have 45 wins when they have hit a home run, by the way. They've got 2 here tonight. Last night they didn't get their home run till their last run scoring in the bottom of the 8th inning. Markakis into left field, it falls in. So a 1-out base runner for the Braves here in the 4th. Time now for StatCast powered by AWS. And we mentioned Eric Thames and that nice catch he had out there in right field. And let's take a look. A lot of work for him out there, and he lays out nicely for Eric Thames. Not an easy trick to do, that ball tailing away. And right field a little trickier to play than left field. He's had more opportunities out there in left field, but now with Kane out, he's getting a lot of starts out in right field.
Yeah, went 69 feet to catch that baseball, caught it, and saved the run. Freddie Freeman was on second base when he made that catch.
Kurt Suzuki, the Braves catcher. Grounder to Thane, or I should say to Shaw, and the relay in time for the double play. So the Brewers turn it, and another efficient inning for Freddie Peralta as Travis Shaw starts it. And the finish, 5-1.
Brewers a 5-1 lead over the Braves here in the 4th. And our showstopper tonight, we go out to PNC Park. The Phillies visiting the Pirates. Trevor Williams on the mound, Odubel Herrera at the plate, and that's a 3-run homer that's gone in the 3rd inning. So that would give Philly a 5-1 lead. They currently have a 5-4 lead in the 5th out there at PNC Park.
5-1. Sophia, thanks very much.
Remember how Odubel Herrera was struggling against the Brewers in Philly? He started to snap out of it when he came to Miller Park.
Yeah, he did.
And now he's back at it.
You know, the Braves lead in the East very slim thanks to the Phillies, and it's an interesting topic that you brought up as Vandy Pena bats here with Eric Karros in the Nationals, who are struggling big time. I mean, who would have thought they'd need 14 runs to beat the Marlins last night, right?
Yeah, they came from behind. What were they down 9-0?
Yeah.
That could be a game changer for a team when you come back like that. That can get you going.
Well, there's a lot of trade rumors out there right now, and there was actually an article today about the possibility of them trading Bryce Harper. And he's going to be a free agent at the end of the year as Pena flies out. But imagine that if they fall off the map here in the next few weeks, not in contention. Do you see that happening?
I mean, with their pitching staff the way they are, I mean, Scherzer is really the only one that's throwing the baseball really well right now. I mean, Gio Gonzalez and Tanner Roark. Strasburg's been on and off the disabled list once again. They continue to have issues with their bullpen, but with that offense, you figure, I mean, they haven't been scoring a lot of runs. What did they get shut out 7 times in June? I think it was something like that.
Saladino to left. 2 quick outs. And here comes Freddie Peralta. So the Brewers bat around in that 3rd inning. Peralta his 2nd at bat already here in the game in the 4th. His job on the mound though the rest of the game. And Peralta, nice play at first by Freeman as he hooked it right down the first base line. And a quick 1-2-3 inning for Fulton-Avich. We head to the 5th, 5-1 Milwaukee.
Jesus Aguilar homer to give the Crew a 5-1 lead as we head to the 5th here. And earlier this afternoon, the Brewers made official that they have signed Bryce Terang. He was selected 21st overall in this year's first-year player draft, and Terang had a tremendous senior season at Santiago High School in Corona, California, just 18 years old, but he batted .352, had 5 homers, 21 RBIs, and a .464 on-base percentage in his season. And we spoke with the director of amateur scouting, Todd Johnson. He said he's a great player. They were very excited to see him available at that spot in the draft. A very high-level shortstop. He said he's a left-handed hitter. He can run well, a good defender at the position. He's going to develop some power, so they said he has got a really good bat. He signed in Maryville, so he's going to stay in Arizona, get his pro career started. He was committed to play ball at LSU, but again, he has officially signed with the Brewers, so good news there, and congratulations to Bryce Terang.
Yeah, that's good stuff right there, and almost an 11th hour type deal, but the Brewers seem confident things were going to get done, and they get their guy, and now they can put him right to work. And the good news is he's anxious to get going.
Yeah, Todd Johnson, director of scouting, they had until today to sign their first-round draft choice, and Todd was saying today that the Brewers signed their top 11 draft choices, so that's a success.
Absolutely. High fly ball from Camargo. Thames right at the wall, and he can't make the play.
Yep.
Can't play that one off the wall that way. Almost. Just ran out of room. That wall has a diagonal climb to the height out there, and some padding as well, maybe threw off Thames.
Yeah, not a lot of room. What do you got, about 4 feet over there? Got there off the heel of the glove. Once it hits the padding, and it's a dead ball. It's a foul ball.
Oh, he wanted it so bad, though.
Yeah. Good effort.
Yeah.
For a guy that really isn't used to being out there.
Greg Counsell just coming out for clarification with the home plate umpire James Hoy. Their angle cut off because of the shape of the wall out there going down the right field line. So Camargo lives for at least another pitch. And he runs the count to 3-1. So 5-1 Brewer lead right here. It's interesting with Bryce Terang, the Brewers' #1 pick who signed today. His father Brian was originally drafted by the Brewers back in 1987 in the 20th round, but he did not sign with the team then. Instead went on to college and ended up getting drafted, I think, closer to the 50th round. Played some Major League Baseball.
A little bit.
He's got the Brewers' new young kid, the new #1, Bryce Terang, has some Major League blood in his system, which is a nice thing to have. Camargo grounds out #1 here in the 5th inning.
Hey, MLB.TV Premium is now available at a lower price for just $82.99. You can access HD streams of all out-of-market games on over 400 different devices. Plus, enjoy a free Major League At-Bat Premium subscription when you sign up. That's an MLB At-Bat Premium subscription. Learn more by visiting MLB.TV today.
There's Ronald Acuna with 1 out here in the Braves' 5th inning. And Rock, you mentioned that the Brewers signed their top 11 picks. None of those are gimmies. Just ask the Braves. They ended up not signing their #1 pick, their right-handed pitcher Carter Stewart, out of high school. He had a wrist issue that the two sides couldn't agree to a financial term on, so they did not get their #1.
Yeah, well, they'll get a compensation pick next year. But there are salary or there are bonus slots now in Major League Baseball based on when you're drafted. First-round draft choice gets X amount and it trickles down from there. So the guys can't hold out for a ton of money these days.
There's another strikeout for Peralta. So 2 down here in the 5th inning. And speaking of future stars, Keston Hara, last year's top pick for Milwaukee, makes the Futures All-Star team. That'll be played next Sunday, July 15th in Washington, D.C. So congratulations to him. Look at the batting for this guy. Obviously, everybody knew he was going to be a hitter. 320 at high A, 326 at double A right now. And Rock, a lot of people are predicting that this guy will be in the majors in 2019 if he keeps swinging like that.
Well, I'll tell you, swinging the bat's only half the battle. I mean, I think that Keston here needs to show the Brewers he can play defense and get the job done at second base. We saw him in spring training look pretty good. I mean, they were concerned about the throwing arm. He had a throwing arm problem in college his last year, but his throwing arm looked pretty good in spring training.
Well, he is on every scout's radar right now. If the Brewers indeed make any type of trade deadline acquisition, just about every team is going to say, what about Keston Hiura?
Right. He's certainly one of the guys on the list.
Dansby Swanson, the shortstop, with 2 down. Freddie Peralta, pitch number 80 of the game coming up for him. He's rebounded nicely after a slow first inning. Braves had the first 3 batters reach base and ended up only scoring 1 run as Peralta, they're down for the second consecutive start in the opening frame.
Yeah, the Braves made an out on the bases too. That helped.
Brewers acquired Freddie Peralta back in December of 2015. He was only 19 years old then. Just turned 22 last month. Looking for some great things from Freddie Peralta. This time he walks Dansby Swanson with 2 down.
His second walk, he walked the leadoff batter in the game, Enciarte. He came around to score. A little different here. 2 outs, nobody on. Now the pitcher coming up.
Here's Fultonevich. And he was able to check his swing. Braves first in the National League East, Brewers first in the National League Central. They opened up play, the Brewers did, with a 2-game cushion over the Cubs, as the Reds just continued to win. Boy, they put a nice string together of victories over the course of the last few weeks. So they helped the first place Brewers out.
Everybody's a Reds fan this weekend. In Milwaukee anyway.
Quick throw down to first. Swanson just back in time. Manny Pini always ready to pull the trigger.
You have a good throwing arm, use it. And he does. Swanson a little bit flat-footed. Pini figured he might be able to pick him off.
And Fultonevich strikes out. So that's the final out here in the 5th inning. And Peralta again working his magic. Brewers coming to bat with a 5-1 lead. Miller Lite, great taste and only 96 calories. By Toyota, let's go places. And by Sling TV, live till you love, only better. Back here at Miller Park, the Brewers with a 5-1 lead here against the Atlanta Braves in the FIFA World Cup quarterfinals. Wraps up tomorrow with 2 huge games on Fox. First, Sweden will face Harry Kane in England at 8 a.m. Central. Then host country Russia battles Croatia at 1. You can catch it all on Fox or stream all the action live on the Fox Sports app. A lot of great action coming up this weekend between the World Cup soccer, Brewers baseball against the Braves. A lot of eyes on national TV for that ball game as well on FS1 tomorrow.
Yeah.
2:30 coverage begins.
Thank you to Eric Karros and the rest of the FS1 crew giving us a day off tomorrow.
They must have brought in the good weather. I don't know. A little LA cool weather.
I don't know about weather, but Eric Karros certainly brought in some runs. How about that inning?
5-run inning when he came in. 2 long home runs.
More interestingly, how about the inning before? All those deep fly ball outs.
That's when we had Yolis Chacino. See, when you have a pitcher on,
maybe we should you know what? Maybe we should have another guest on and get some more runs. We could drag somebody out of the stands, interview them.
We could do that. Here's Eric Thames, who had a great catch early in this game. It ended the first inning. He had a single and scored a run back in the third, that 5-run third we were talking about. This time he grounds out to first. There's the first out in the 5th inning. Brewers want to keep this homestand rolling along. They were able to sweep the Twins in a 3-game series. And then took game 1 yesterday against the Braves. Turned a close game and stretched it out into a nice 7-2 win in the 8th inning yesterday. Saw Nate Orff over there at the Brewer dugout. And that big first major league hit was a home run in that Twins victory. Or victory over the Twins, I should say. Those are the feel-good stories that a guy like Eric Karros certainly knows, knowing Craig Counsell as well as he does. Roommates at spring training with the Dodgers. Did you know that? Him and Counts?
No, I didn't until tonight.
We could have dug into a lot of good stories.
You know what? That's back in the days when guys had roommates.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. That's a good thing the netting is up, folks.
Yeah, it's been a while since players had roommates. I had roommates my my rookie year and my second year. Rookie year was Jaime Kokenauer.
Good old Jaime Kokenauer.
Yeah. Starting pitcher for the Brewers.
There a better name in baseball than Jaime Kokenauer?
Not too many. Boy, could he snore.
Is that the worst thing of having a roommate, Rock?
Absolutely.
What would the best thing be of having a roommate?
There isn't anything good about it.
Not a thing. Is that why there's no more roommates?
That's the players union.
Yelich strikes out for the second out.
You know, throughout most of Robin Yount's career, I mean, maybe all of it, I think, you know, he had a roommate as Bob McClure. Bobby Mack and Robin Yount were roommates for many, many years. You know, back in those days, you had to pay extra. You had to pay the club extra if you wanted your own room.
And that changed obviously over time.
So you would have to pay, you know, half of what the room costs to get your own room.
So you're talking about the veterans, the top dollar guys can only afford to do that.
No, then you put them in a contract. You say, I'll sign the contract. You're giving me a single room on the road. What? I don't have to do that anymore. Now they say, you know, I'll sign the contract. Give me a suite on the road. Those types of things.
Just give me a bigger, better room.
Right.
I want my own room for sure, but now I want a bigger, better room.
Absolutely. I want three rooms. I want a sitting room, a dining room, and a bedroom.
That's the Rock room. That's the Schroeder house.
Yeah.
Jesus Aguilar batting. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 down here in the 5th. He had that mammoth home run. His last at bat, that one traveled 433 feet to the
That's it.
lower third of that scoreboard.
That's all.
And it banged. It banged loud like batting practice bang. Let's take another look. This was in the 3rd inning. Bang.
Got to fix that measuring tape.
You thinking 450, 475?
Well, it hit something. It might have been the distance up there, but you know, had that not been there, how far would that have gone?
True.
You can use triangulation now. They have you know, exit velocity, angle at which the ball's up in the air. You can figure that out.
Well, I couldn't.
I couldn't either, but you know, somebody could.
We have people to do that. Aguilar to left field. That's going to be trouble. It falls. And this one gets past Okuna. And Aguilar winds up at second base.
He's getting hot again. He went through a spell early in the homestand where he really wasn't getting up a whole lot of hits. 14th double, 20th home run today. He's been incredible. Check it out. You know, slider down the middle. That's not where Fultonavich wanted it, but Kuda not able to get there, gets by him, and the big fella into second base.
Runner in scoring position for Travis Shaw. Takes one inside. Well, if you go up and down Fultonavich's starts, maybe once a month, maybe once every 5 or 6 starts does he have a night like this, and that's about it. And apparently he was due as the Brewers tagged him for 5 runs back in that 3rd inning. The most earned runs he's given up are 6. That's happened twice. So kudos to the Brewer hitters.
Yeah,
and you're right, it started in that 2nd inning with the 3 long loud outs.
Yeah, again, I mean, you know, a couple of feet here and there, it would have been 3 home runs in that inning, but hey, it wasn't.
Shaw pulls it foul. Shaw 0 for 2 tonight. Did not play in last night's game. Homered on the 4th of July, hits this one into center field, and there's the 3rd out of the inning. So an Aguilar 2-out double goes for naught. We head to the 6th. It's still 5-1 Milwaukee.
as we head to the 6th. And earlier today, the Brewers' wives and mascots delivered plastic bat and ball sets, batting gloves, and wristbands to students at the Next Door Foundation in support of Play Ball Weekend. And the wives played a friendly game of catch with the kids, wrapped up the day by reading some baseball books to the group. So well done by the Brewers' wives participating in Play Ball Weekend.
Yeah, they're very active in the community all the time. Those are really good stories to share, to be around. Summertime is great to get out in the community and help out. Can't be just doing the school year, that's for sure. Peralta opens up the 6th inning against Inciarte, and he gave up 1 run here in the 1st inning tonight. He's given up 4 total runs in the 1st inning, and after that, the rest of his innings pitched in his 5+ starts, including tonight, matched that total of 4.
I'll tell you what, for a 22-year-old, I'll take that any day. He'll figure that out. He'll figure that 1st inning thing out, and it's not going to take him long. Do you remember what you were doing when you were 22?
Oh, do I?
I mean, think about how much poise this guy has for, 22 years old. I mean, we see it all over baseball these days. These guys come up these days with a lot of confidence in their abilities. They don't want to be walking a leadoff hitter.
Yep, Inciarte is aboard again. And let's head down to Sophia with more on tonight's starter, Freddie Peralta.
Well, his last start in Cincinnati was certainly a learning experience. His first loss, and you talk about those 1st inning struggles, it was just a nightmare for him on Sunday afternoon. It took him 42 pitches to get out of the 1st inning. He gave up 3 runs, 4 hits, 2 walks in there as well. He was 2 batters away from being pulled in the 1st inning, but Freddie told me that he learned a lot from that outing. He felt like he was just missing with his fastball and the release points, so he said he just took a moment once he got through that 1st inning and said, okay, I just need to forget everything about that 1st inning and just go out there and continue to compete. So he said the confidence was still there. He said, I know what I can do. I know who I am. So he said he just told himself, okay, 3 outs at a time, and he said he was able to settle down from there. So certainly a great learning experience for the rookie. Again, just his 6th major league start here tonight.
Yep, and you got to go through them. You experience them your 1st year, your 2nd year. You experience different things each season along the way, and this is something obviously early that's easy for us to detect here as Inciarte draws a leadoff walk here in the 6th inning. So this is another situation, protecting that 4-1 lead.
Yeah, and I think Manny Pena did a really good job calming him down in that start against the Reds on Sunday. I mean, Manny should get a lot of credit for what he's been able to do.
And Albies into left, flies out to Ryan Braun, 1 down.
Yeah, Manny has really become a very good game caller, calling pitches, understanding what the pitcher has working that particular day based on the different hitters that are coming to the plate. He takes it very seriously. He's learned a lot in a very short period of time, and he's got a lot of respect amongst Derek Johnson and his pitching staff.
There's Jacob Barnes and Dan Jennings out in the bullpen right now, the righty and lefty respectively, starting to get loose as Peralta's pitch count at 94 right now here with 1 down in the 6th inning. 4-1 lead for Freddie Peralta. The young Brewer phenom starter on the hill facing Freddie Freeman. So the other thing about Freddie Peralta from the Dominican Republic, we touched on it after Sophia's interview with him during our pregame show today, is how well he speaks English, how hard he is working on speaking English so he can communicate here with his teammates in the city of Milwaukee in the United States. And we can, Sophia and I especially can attest, doing a lot of interviews over the last few years with the minor leaguers. He's one of the guys who insisted on trying these interviews in English, and it's paid off very well. He's a very poised, mature young kid.
And it's going to help him down the road. I mean, not that it's necessary. I mean, a lot of these kids from Latin America have a difficult time with English, and you can respect that. I mean, it's mandated in baseball you have interpreters for every language that you have a player that speaks on your team. But Freddie feels as though speaking English, being able to communicate with the community, the media, is very important, and you got to tip your hat to him for that.
Absolutely. Another feather in his cap. 2 down now here in the 6th inning for Peralta as Inciarte still at first. Here's Nick Markakis. Had a base hit back in the 4th inning, but he was erased on a double play, an inning-ending double play. There goes the runner. Pena's throw on the mark. Got him! And that'll end the 6th inning. Manny Pena fires the gun and erases Inciarte and helps out Freddie Peralta. 6 strong innings for him as the Brewers protect that 5-1 lead. The Braves, and he can thank Manny Pena for part of that, getting a would-be base stealer again, our Badger Mutual Insurance play of the game. Number 10 on the season, caught stealing for Manny Pena.
Yeah, doing Freddie Peralta a favor. Inciarte getting caught stealing with a home run hitter at the plate, down by 4 runs. You got to wonder about that.
Yeah,
Manny Pena able to gun him down at second base.
A lot of things going right for the Brewers as Fulton still out on the hill here in the 6th inning. He had the 1 rough inning. That was the 3rd, really rough. 2 home runs given up, 5 runs total.
Gave up 5 runs in the 3rd inning, and that matches the number of runs that Fulton gave up in 9 previous starts. Think about that.
It's amazing.
9 straight starts, he allowed 5 runs. That's it. 5 runs in the 3rd tonight.
In fact, I stand corrected on the number I gave on the amount of games he's given up more than 5 earned runs. There was only 1 other one this season.
Right.
Not 2.
Against the Giants. Beginning of May.
Camargo tosses out Ryan Braun to start the 6th inning. Well, Fulton has only allowed 1 hit in any other inning besides that 3rd, so he cruised it. But boy, I tell you what, the Brewers put it on him in that 3rd inning.
Yeah, 2 innings in a row. I mean, second all those deep fly balls, and in the 3rd inning, and then Fulton able to find it again.
Here's Brad Miller, the Brewers' second baseman tonight. He's 0 for 2, struck out looking his last time up in the 3rd inning. That ended that 5-run 3rd. Fulton came into tonight with an ERA of 2.02. third best in the National League. 6-4 record. And I would imagine some family up from Minooka, Illinois, which is a southwest Chicago suburb. That's where he grew up. As he strikes out Miller.
Hey, tonight's time of the game winner. You're going to like this one. Birch Point Resort in Bloomer. If they call the Brewers by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, they get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin. And Miller Lite, you know, Bloomer is north of Chippewa Falls. And you know what they're famous for?
I'm not 100% sure, but if I had one guess, I might say.
Now, if you guess this, you're cheating.
I mean, it's not that I'm cheating. I'm just guessing. Just one guess. I would guess.
Yeah.
Jump roping.
Jump rope capital of the world. Now you're cheating. Now who knows that? Bloomer, Wisconsin. Well done.
That's why we have Mike Faulkner up here, our statistician. He's also a researcher.
Now he said that he knew that off the top of his head.
I believe it.
I do too, kind of.
He's a retired educator. I mean, everything's off the top of his head.
I've never known Mike to not only he doesn't lie, but he doesn't exaggerate. Unlike the rest of us. We exaggerate, we don't lie.
We brag about nothing, and this guy's got it all in his head.
Love it.
Well, the crowd here getting the wave together. That means they're having a good time, right?
Yeah, things are going well.
High and tight to Pena. Manny a base hit and a run scored in that third inning. He gunned down Inciarte to end the sixth. Called strike 3 here though. And Fultonevich with the strikeout. So we are through 6, 5-1 Brewers. To bring the family out here to Miller Park to see some of the world's top soccer players. Coming up next Wednesday, July 11th, as CF Pachuca takes on Club Leon in an international soccer match presented by Aurora Healthcare. Tickets start at just $15 at brewers.com/soccer. Pretty good soccer mecca here at Miller Park, as they have some premier matches when the Brewers are on the road. So a good time to check that out.
Turn Miller Park into a pitch, do they? That's what they call it, you know.
Is that right?
I think so.
If that's true, you're on, man.
Well, Jacob Barnes told me, because he's in now. 32nd appearance for Barnes, 245 earned run average. And Jacob's been pretty good. He got sent down for a while to figure out that cut fastball of his. Last pitched on Monday against the Twins and had a scoreless inning. So another good start for Freddie Peralta. He goes 6 innings, allowing only 1 run.
Outstanding work by Peralta. Had a rough 30-plus pitch first inning for him, but was able to bounce back really nicely, hold this offense to just 3 hits. And Jacob Barnes' first pitch to Markakis. He takes it to left for a base hit.
And the second time he's done that. 2 hits to left. And the first one was kind of out in the left center. And 4-seam fastball up and away, and Markakis goes right with it. This guy can hit. Hits it where it's pitched. Barrels it up and just out of the reach of Travis Shaw.
Leadoff single here in the 7th inning. Here's Kurt Suzuki. 2 hits now for Markakis as he adds to his NL lead. 110 now for him. Talking with Eric Karros about potential Brewer All-Stars, and of course while the Braves bat, a lot of their hitters could be headed to the All-Star game as well. Freddie Freeman, Albies, Markakis could all be voted in. That'll all be announced on Sunday. And their starting pitcher Fultonavich as well, with that low ERA, could very well be named. As the Brewers also looking to get guys like Hader, Jeffress, Aguilar, maybe Kane and Yelich. There's a lot of top National Baseball sports writers who have Kane and Yelich on their list to be on that All-Star squad.
Well, why not? I mean, you're talking about 2 teams with 2 best records in the NL. The Braves with 49 wins, the Brewers with 52. They should be well represented.
And the Braves could have 2-3 starters perhaps. We'll see how it the last voting push from yesterday all pans out. I'm not expecting any Brewers to be voted in. That would have to be a pretty remarkable run, as the Braves really held some high vote leads over everyone else. Scooter Gennett may get in to start at second base. He was right up there as well. He's having a phenomenal year for the Reds.
He deserves it. Really does.
Sunday night they'll announce the AL and the NL All-Star teams. Then the Midsummer Classic coming up a week after that in Washington, D.C. Suzuki draws the walk, and this is not what Jacob Barnes wanted to do coming in relief.
It can happen very quickly. You just asked Fultonavich. I mean, that 5-run inning, and they jumped on him quickly. Yeah, hitting a walk, home run. The Braves are right back in this game.
Then we talked about some of the potential guys that might be voted in to start for the Braves. Nick Markakis, Freddie Freeman, Ozzie Albies. Markakis is an interesting one because he's been around the league a long time, has more than 2,100 career hits, but has never been to the All-Star game. And since 1993, the year of the first All-Star game, 158 other players have collected at least 2,100 hits, and all of them except one, Juan Pierre, has made the All-Star team.
Yeah. You can't argue with a lot of that right there. I mean, I think the fans do a really good job voting for the All-Star game. Bryce Harper's numbers down, but still, you figure he's an All-Star.
And again, those numbers we showed you there were going into the final vote push. We don't know what the results are of that. They'll be announced again on Sunday night.
And Matt Kemp having a terrific year.
Yeah.
Nice bounce back year. A couple of years now for Kemp.
Camargo first pitch, right field, base hit. Station to station right now for the Braves, and now we have some things for the Brewers pitching staff and Barnes to deal with. Decisions for Craig Counsell. Bases loaded, nobody out here in the Braves 7th inning.
Yep, after the visit by Derek Johnson, fastball down the middle, and Camargo lines. You can see Fame's playing very deep. That just is because he's uncomfortable out there, and They're playing it safe, keeping it in front of them, and now bases loaded, nobody out.
Seven pitches, 3 aboard, including a walk batter. So the Braves, when they felt comfortable seeing that first or second pitch, have jumped on Barnes. Here's Acuna.
The Brewers playing for the double play, up by 4 runs. They'll gladly exchange 2 outs for a run here. In order to get that ground ball, he's got to get that cutter down and away.
That's Saladino at short, Miller at second for that up the middle defense, Shaw over at third. And this one got a piece of the Brewer catcher Manny Pena.
Foul tip right off the knee. Yeah, those hurt.
Padding does one thing, but not everything, right?
No, you still feel it. Still rubbing it.
They've got Acuna down 2 strikes. Ball and 2 strikes now to the left fielder for the Braves. 0 for 2, struck out looking his first time up and swinging his second time up. Barnes would like to make it 3 strikeouts here. In play, little chopper, and misplayed by Shaw. Tried to grab it with the bare hand, couldn't come up with it. So everybody's safe on the infield hit, and a run home, 5-2. But more importantly, still nobody out.
Well, that's kind of do or die for Travis Shaw. He was thinking about grabbing that and flipping it to home plate. I would imagine he's playing behind the bag. If he gets it, I think he's going to throw home. I'm not sure he had to play it first. Not able to get there, and you know the training staff for the Braves going out to take a look at Acuna, who was hobbling as he got down to first base.
Brian Snitker, the manager, out. Eric Young is the first base coach. Played a couple of years with the Milwaukee Brewers towards the end of his career. Good to see EY here.
Yeah, he's done.
So Acuna coming out. That gives Jacob Barnes a moment to spend with Manny Pena.
Kind of a tough break for Barnes. That was a good pitch, and you know Travis Shaw playing behind the bag with 2 strikes. Not able to handle it, but he made his pitch, but Acuna able to drive in the run.
Charlie Culberson coming in to pinch run.
Kind of falls down, kind of tripping as he gets out of the batter's box, a little off balance, and when he reached first base, started to hobble a little bit. Not sure when it happened. It might have happened right as soon as he made contact.
All right, so Barnes has to attack Dansby Swanson now. Again, bases loaded. Nobody out. A run in already for Atlanta. And this one into center, base hit. 1 run in. Ball misplayed out there by Yelich. 2 runs home. And they'll hold the runner at third. And now a 1-run ball game as Atlanta scores 2. 5-4. Still nobody out here in the 7th. What happened to this game?
Yeah, disaster. Nobody out. That cut fastball right off the end of the bat. Pretty good piece of hitting by Dansby Swanson. He goes with it. And that's going to be an error on Yelich, allowing Swanson to get to second base. Man, now the go-ahead run for the Braves at second.
And a pitching change will be made. Jacob Barnes is out. We'll set it for you when we come back to Miller Park.
At the series finale against the Braves will take home a retro Robin Yount 1970s replica jersey courtesy of Orbis Corporation. To book your seats, go to brewers.com/tickets.
Well, here at the ballpark, it's a 5-4 lead now as the Braves have plated 3 here in the 7th inning. No outs were recorded for Jacob Barnes, so Dan Jennings in relief, and he inherits runners at 2nd and 3rd here for Atlanta.
And he's done a pretty good job with inherited runners. Only 5 of 21 have scored, but he's got his work cut out for him. Still nobody out. It's a 1-run game, 2nd and 3rd. Jennings picked up a save yesterday. It was his 2nd career save, tossing 2 scoreless innings.
He'll face Danny Santana, the pinch hitter. He bats for the pitcher, Fultonavich. He was called up from AAA on June 22nd. So this is the 12th appearance in his 14 games since he's been called up. First pitch, a strike from Jennings. Santana 174. Here's the 0-1 inside.
Yeah, Jennings has been very good his last 3 appearances. There was a point in time when he was struggling a bit, giving up runs, a lot of hits, a lot of hard contact, but I think the slider's back for him last few appearances.
Well, he had the save yesterday, his first as a Brewer, the 6th Brewer to record a save this season. Big hat there. Only the Phillies have more with 8.
There's that slider we were talking about. Good pitch. Over the plate, down.
Big situation here for Dan Jennings to try to shut down what Atlanta has started here. Santana stays alive. Tough outing for Barnes. Did not record an out. Gave up 4 hits. 3 runs in, and the 2 on the bases are his. And prior to that, he had been pitching very well.
Yes, he had.
Just missing. That'll even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Santana able to check his swing. So count full now as Jennings getting some fits from Santana.
Missed with a couple of fastballs. Let's see if he goes back to the slider. Yeah, he held up.
Three-two on the way. And again, Santana stays alive. Turning out to be a showdown here on a Friday night. The Brewers were cruising after scoring 5 runs in that 3rd inning. Really, outside of that, they have not had many situations to score but 1 against Fulton-Avich. 3-2, and it got Santana. There's your first big out right there by Dan Jennings.
And went right back to the slider. That's his money pitch, even to right-handers. And Santana swings at ball 4.
Top of the order now, and Inciarte officially 0 for 1 with a strikeout, but he's drawn 2 walks. He scored the game's first run and pokes this one into left. Ryan Braun, and near the wall, does he make the catch? No foul. That go off his glove or not? And hopefully it wasn't interference down there.
I'm not sure what Brony was doing there, but yeah, fan caught it. And that was in play. I'm sure that I'm wondering why, you know, Craig Counsell didn't go out there and have a chat with a umpire. Fan reaches in fair ground. I'm not sure if Ryan Braun saw it. Might have lost it in the lights, but
Braun's reaction, he kind of threw his arms up a little bit when he got closer to the wall.
I think he didn't see it. I think he lost it for a second.
Watch the angle.
Then he picks it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he would have caught it anyway, so that's not interference.
He may have overrun that. I will say this, though. If you're coming to the park and have a front row seat, you know a player's coming your way, sit down and let him make the play.
Yeah, well, that's tough, right? Ball coming at you. You got your glove. It wasn't interference. Let's put it that way. We're not talking about anything out of the ordinary.
One to Inciarte.
And Jennings struck Inciarte out last night in his 2 scoreless innings. That would look really good right here.
Running in some dangerous hitters here for Atlanta in their turn in the batting order. Inciarte, the #1 hitter. Nothing will come easy for Brewer relievers here. Those are still tough outs that you should have had too, that you allow a batter to stay alive with. So Jennings looking to bear down here. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Missing low, runs it full. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. 1 down here in Atlanta's half of inning number 7. 3 runs already in. Crowd getting into it. Full count pitch on the way from Jennings. Right back to him. Looks the runner back to third, secures the out. Out number 2 at first.
Well, 2/3 the way through it. Looking to get out of this mess with no runs, no further damage. Yeah, but now the big boy's coming up. Good slider right off the end of the bat. Looks him back, throws him out at first. Good slider. The slider's been his pitch. Both of the outs have come on that breaking ball.
Brent Suter likes that. Every pitcher will take that opportunity to knock that ball down and get that sure out without a run scoring. Here's a big out here in Ozzie Albies. Won't be easy.
A switch hitter. He's batting .299 from the right side of the plate. Higher batting average right-handed than left-handed.
Has a double in this game and has hit safely in 15 of his last 16 ball games. Swing and a miss on that first pitch. Dan Jennings came in this game with runners at second and third and nobody out. As you see, Albies splits against left-handed and right-handed pitching.
Yeah, far more at-bats, of course, as a left-handed batter, but he does have 5 home runs as a right-handed hitter.
Jennings ahead, a strike on Albies. Chopper to third, Shaw. And how about that job for Dan Jennings? Nobody out, second and third. The game came down to a 1-run ball game here in the 7th inning, and he strands both runners. First out, a strikeout. The second one right back to him, and that third out, a chopper to third. And the Brewers holding on to a 5-4 lead as they head to the 7th inning. His team had their lead cut down to 1, and he picks up 3 big outs. So 5-4 we go. Culberson stays in and is out in left field now. Charlie Culberson, he pinch ran for Acuna, who left with a left groin tightness issue. And then the new pitcher, Jesse Biddle.
Yeah, they've got 4 left-handers down in that bullpen. 4 left-handers, 5 right-handers for the Braves. .259 earned run average, 27th appearance. He's 2-0 so far this year.
And here's Tyler Saladino, 1 for 2. Our Wendy's at the plate. The big 2-run home run back in the 3rd inning Got the Brewers on the board for the first of 5 in that frame. Well, they were able to tack on some runs late in yesterday's ball game, turning a 4-2 lead into a 7-2 win. Be nice to see a little more of that here tonight.
Yeah. Well, you couldn't ask for a better job by Dan Jennings. I mean, it looked like for sure the Braves are going to at least tie it up and maybe even take the lead. Not to happen for him. Bill last appeared on July 2nd against the Yankees. He picked up a win, 2 scoreless innings that included 4 strikeouts.
You would think how important it was for Jennings facing a pinch hitter and then top of the order to go 1-2-3 to avoid Freeman and Markakis in that last inning. Again, you're talking about 3 of the top 4 hitters in the National League going in that order.
Yeah.
And 2 of them never got up. Saladino to third. 1 down.
I'm amazed at the throwing arm by Camargo. Every time he throws a baseball, straight as a string, gets there in a split second. Guy's something else.
He winds up and fires. Here's Keon Broxton to pinch hit now here in the 7th inning for the Brewers in the number 9 spot. Mr. Defense, Mr. Game Saver out there in center field.
Yeah, you got to figure that he's going to stay in the game. Yelich will go to right. We'll take Thames out for defense. And Fulton Abrams came into the game with a 2.02 earned run average. It went all the way up to 2.37 with those 5 runs in the 3rd inning tonight. Doesn't take much, does it? 1 bad inning.
That's right.
Those earned run averages go up very quickly, but it takes forever to get them back down.
I was just going to say,
you know,
you can't get him down that quickly.
Man, I mean, all that great pitching he's done, still 237 is terrific, but to have it go up that much in 1 outing.
Well, he got through the Brewers 1-2-3 in that first inning, including a couple of strikeouts. Then they started hitting the ball hard in the 2nd, and then they came up with a 5 and a 3rd, and he settled right back down after that. Only allowed 1 other hit, and that was with 2 outs. Brewers good approach in that 3rd inning. And the bottom of the order got that going, and Manny Pena and Tyler Saladino. So those are the things you like to hear, Rock.
That's what we were talking about when we came on the air. It's not like, you know, the big name guys getting it done all the time, although Aguilar would be considered one of the big guns in that offense.
But he's been quiet, though, on this homestand.
Yeah, 3-run homer today.
And Broxton strikes out.
Breaking pitch.
Our Miller Lite What's on Tap tomorrow. The Brewers and Braves on national TV on FS1. You can check out the coverage starting at 2:30. Game time set for just after 3 o'clock from Miller Park. And Aaron Wilkerson will get the start. He got called up today from AAA. Brent Suter put on the disabled list and tightness in that left forearm. So they have to put him on the DL. Hopefully that will be a short stint. He has made an impact for Milwaukee. 16 starts for Brent Suter. Here's Eric Thames. He didn't seem too discouraged when we talked to him today.
No, he's going to be all right. Cautionary. He was trying to talk the Brewers into allowing him to pitch tomorrow.
Chase Anderson and Suter talking with Dan Jennings. Jennings holding court after that big performance there to knock down the Braves in that 7th inning threat. And Thames strikes out, so a 1-2-3 inning for Biddle in the 7th. So the Braves now head to the 8th, trailing by 1 as Jeremy Jeffress is set to come in. They go to hitting against Jeremy Jeffress, and we also want to remind you, coming up after the ball game, we'll have Brewers Live here from the booth, presented by Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin. Lots to talk about, and hopefully at the end we're talking about a win for Craig Counsell's club. The Brewers a big 3rd inning. They scored their 5 runs there. Dan Jennings in relief, closing out the 7th. There'll definitely be a scoring line. And then how's this one going to finish? Jeremy Jeffress out on the hill. He wants to have a chapter in this book here tonight on a stellar season.
Well, Jeremy Jeffress last pitched on Wednesday, so he's had a day off. Pitched Wednesday against Minnesota, earned his 6th win of the season. Came in the 7th inning, went an inning and 2/3. Great work for Jeffress this year.
And Freddie Freeman down the left field line, just foul. And the Brewers getting some defensive replacements to shore it up as Yelich moves to right field from center, and Keon Broxton, who came in to pinch hit moments ago, stays in and goes to center field. So you got to feel pretty good about your defense out there. And of course, Ryan Braun staying in left.
97 for Jeremy Jeffress.
Some heat against Freddie Freeman. Down 2 strikes. 1 for 3 in this one for Freddie Freeman. And he strikes out. Ball gets away from Pena, and he'll secure it at first. There's your first out here in the 8th inning.
Split change got him. That's been one of his best pitches this year. You can see the split change tumbling back-to-back. Second time that Freeman struck out. Good pitch right after a big fastball. 97 and 91 down in the dirt.
Here's Markakis. He's had hits in each of his last 2 at-bats. Scored a run in the 7th inning. In fact, he got that 7th inning going with the base hit off Jacob Barnes' first pitch. Two big innings tell the story of the scoring in this one. The Brewers a 5-run 3rd, and the Braves answer with a 3-run 7th inning. That's how we have our 5-4 game right now. Braves scored that first run back in the 1st inning off Freddie Peralta, and that's all he gave up.
Well, you figure Jeremy Jeffress for the 8th. Corey Knebel is available tonight. Pitched 3 consecutive days, had yesterday off.
Center field, Broxton can't get to that one,
Got
so a
something
base
else.
hit.
He's something, isn't he? My
3
goodness.
straight hits for Freddie Freeman. I should say Nick Markakis.
Hits it where it's pitched. And check it out. You know, curveball. A little bit down. Look at the way he keeps that head down. I mean, point of contact. He's actually sees the baseball hit the bat and drives it right into center field. Perfect swing.
Stunning. He hasn't been an all-star. Probably going to be one now, but boy.
Having a terrific year.
There's Kurt Suzuki. So tying run aboard for the Braves. Suzuki walked and scored a run in the 7th inning. Bounced into a double play back in the 4th. And was retired back in the 1st on a beautiful diving catch by Eric Thames out in right field. (2-0) the count now to the Braves catcher from Jeremy Jeffress. Cubs lost this afternoon in Chicago to the Reds, so if the Brewers can hang on here, they would increase their lead to 2.5 in the Central. Fly ball right field down the line and into the stands.
It's that big movement for Jeffress on a 2-0 count. He jams Suzuki. Hitters count, and he's able to get in on his hands.
Two balls and a strike to Suzuki. And again he fouls one away. 2-2 the count now. Before Jacob Barnes came in and had that hiccup giving up those 3 runs in that 7th inning, Brewer relievers on a 3.01 ERA, which ranked 2nd in the National League. So when things like that happen, it opens up your eyes.
That happens once in a while. I mean, can't be lights out every night out there. Good hitters are going to beat you every now and again.
The 2-2 just missing inside. Boy.
Well, pretty close. Not sure how you take it, but didn't get rung up.
And he misses inside. That prior pitch may have been strike 3, but Suzuki lived for another one and draws the walk. So 2 aboard here in the 8th inning. That tying run moves to second base.
Yeah, Jeremy just trying to stay in on his hands. He threw a nice pitch the one before, but missed in off the plate for ball 4. Well, now tying run at second. You know, Markakis doesn't run all that well. I mean, average speed at best. Brewers have pretty good throwing arms in the outfield.
Here's Camargo, who singled and scored in the 7th inning. Braves bats coming alive in this series, really for the first time over the last 2 innings.
Splitter. Hitters count. Got him to chase.
1-1. And now a ball and 2 strikes. He's got Camargo swinging.
Now throw another one, back-to-back splitters. So if he tries another one, maybe this one a little bit lower, get it in the dirt.
Inside 98 on the fastball. Evens the count 2-2. 1 down, 2 aboard in a 1-run ball game. Brewer bullpen getting a big test from the Braves here late in the game. Up the middle. Could it be 2? The bullpen is! Another big play by the defense as the Brewers come through. Miller takes care of business, gets the double play started. And the Brewers hang on to that 5-4 lead. One more look at Saladino, the shortstop in that shift to Aguilar. Stephen Vogt loving it from the dugout. Jeffress from the mound. The Brewers getting set to lead off a 5-4 ball game. And how about the double play, pitcher's best friend, to end the threat by the Braves.
Boy, Saladino, good hands, very quick. He gets the bag and then that good throwing arm over to first base. Look at Jeremy. Is he fired up or what? That was a good fastball down in the zone, had some movement on it, and he got the ground ball up the middle.
Well, is it insurance time? They've got some big hitters coming up. Yelich, Aguilar, and Shaw. Yelich on the other side of that infield. One down.
That's a big double play because, you know, when Corey Knebel comes in, he's going to have 7, 8, and 9 coming up and could potentially be able to finish this game without having to go to the top of the order.
Take a look at our Powerball home run leaderboard. Jesus Aguilar hit number 20 tonight, 433 feet away. And that big bomb helped Milwaukee cap off that 5-run third inning. So 1 inning of scoring. Can it be 2 here to put a little insurance on the board? Aguilar's had multi-home run games. That's sweet swing. 304 now on the season with 20 home runs and 59 RBIs.
He's got the count in his favor. He's going to be looking for something out over the plate, something to drive out of here like you were talking about. Get that 2-run lead. Good curve.
Biddle out for his second inning of relief for the Braves on the mound. The 2-1 pitch. This is a bit low. 3-1 now to the Brewers slugger. Travis Shaw waits on deck. That one hits the bottom of the zone.
And politely asking James Hoy, was it high enough? It was.
Aguilar, little bloop into center field, base hit. All right, a 1-out single for Milwaukee. They have their base runner.
Aguilar with 3 hits was able to fight off a curveball, jammed himself a little bit. You can see it down on the trademark a bit. Able to fight it off, big and strong, able to punch it into center.
Well, we talk about some of the younger players making adjustments like Freddie Peralta, Jesus Aguilar at the plate all season long.
Yeah, you got to. I mean, it's constant all season long. It doesn't matter. Little adjustment here or there. Pitchers, hitters, fielders. It's the way it is in this game. You never have it figured out completely.
Travis Shaw at the plate. High chopper. Tried for the double play. It won't work. They get the out at second base. So we get the lead runner, 2 down, and Shaw is safe over at first.
Well, avoiding the double play, giving Ryan Braun a chance to maybe drive one out of here. Got to be a bit intimidating going to second base with Aguilar coming after you.
Yeah, you don't want to stand around and wait for him.
Yeah, hit the bag, get out of there.
All right, here's Ryan Braun. 1 for 3. He's hit the ball hard tonight, though. Long loud out back in the second inning on a nice play out in center field from Inciarte.
Wait back and see if Biddle can hang one of those curveballs for him.
Inside 2-0.
Of course, you got Miller on deck. They might be a little bit careful with Braun, especially now with a 2-0 count. Not going to walk him intentionally, of course. Got the left-hander waiting his turn on deck.
Here's the 2-0. Now 2-1.
Of course, Craig Counsell might go to Perez. That Braun should reach. Braves have a right-hander getting loose in the pen, so the chess match continues.
Braves with 4 lefties out there. And an even up bullpen. 2-2 now to Ryan Braun.
Looks like Braun's just sitting on that curveball. Now he's just going to have to look for baseball, put it in play.
Two on the way, and Braun strikes out. There was the curveball, but it got him out in front of the plate. So the Brewers done here in the 8th inning. Up to Corey Knebel now, trying to protect a 1-run lead. A lot of good things happening here tonight. A tight ball game. Good because the Brewers are still up 5-4 as we go to the 9th inning from Miller Park. A showdown of two division leaders in the National League. And the Brewers trying to grab the first two games against the Braves. Corey Knebel on to try to pick up another save.
Yeah, picked up number 10 against the Minnesota Twins on Wednesday. He's been terrific in his last 12 appearances. He's got 7, 8, and 9 coming up. Pitcher spot due up third.
Jonathan Villar comes in at second base for Miller as a defensive replacement. Defense all shored up now. They got Broxton out in center. Culberson, the batter against Knebel. Culberson came in as a pinch runner in the 7th inning for Acuna, so this is his first at bat of the game. Knebel just missing low with the fastball.
Yeah, velocity good. He's now pitching in 4 of the last 5 games. Had yesterday off after 3 consecutive appearances.
Popped him up in the infield. Via shallow right. There's your first out.
Corey gave up a home run against the Twins on a curveball. And after that, just stuck with a fastball. Got Culberson on the fastball. Got him to pop up.
Now it's Dansby Swanson, the shortstop. This one fouled away. So Knebel ahead of strike. Couple of saves and a win against the Twins in that series earlier in this homestand. Looking for number 11 in that save category here tonight, trying to close it out. Has one out here in the 9th. Outside to even it up.
That's a good curveball right there. Much better break on it than he had on Wednesday.
Curveball misses outside, 2-1. Swanson a tough out late in the game, hitting a .311 clip from the 7th inning on. There's a strike.
Getting a little bit off the edge. Now drop the curveball in there.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Knebel to Swanson. Fouls off another one. 97.
Terrific velocity.
Freddie Peralta started this game 6 strong innings, gave up just 1 earned run. That was in the 1st inning. That's 6 strikeouts. Then Barnes in relief of him gave up the 3 runs. Jennings cleaned up the 7th. Jeffress in the 8th, and now Corey Knebel trying to close it out. The 2-2. Ground ball in the right field, base hit. So the tying run is aboard for Atlanta.
They left the fastball down in the strike zone, and much easier to get to at big velocity. A good piece of hitting by Swanson right there. I mean, taking a fastball down and away. Good pitch. Check out where this one ends up. That's a pretty good pitch. 98 miles an hour, and Swanson able to just serve it out there in the right field. That's just a good piece of hitting. That's a tip your hat to the hitter right there.
Here's Ryan Flaherty, pinch hitting in the pitcher spot, number 9 in the order. Left-handed hitter facing Knebel.
Swanson's got 3 stolen bases on the year. He's been caught once. Knebel, normally a guy you can run on. He takes a while to get rid of it. But you've got the equalizer behind home plate, Manny Pena.
And they'll check him over there at first. Flaherty, you saw the number 3 for 14 as a pinch hitter. He was a starter earlier this season for the Braves. And Camargo took over in mid-May over at third base for him. And he's been coming off the bench. There goes the runner. Pena's throw. In time! He cuts down Swanson on a close play at second base.
You figure they're going to look at it. Boy, what a throw. A little bit high, but how about the release? And you know they're going to look at it. They've got nothing to lose. Well, let's check it out. Check out the tag. Oh, I don't know.
Very close.
That's going to be close. Not going to be able to tell there. This will be the one. And maybe not. You can't see the hand.
Quinn Walcott, the second base umpire.
This is going to be a huge, huge review.
Yep, his call is out, so that's in the Brewers' favor at this point.
Now the only question is there enough to overturn it? It is very close. Does he get him right there? Is the hand on it? I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's up to New York now. We've seen the angles. It's very close. Is there enough to overturn the call out at second base?
Well, there really appears to be only one definitive angle.
You know, if he calls him safe, there's nothing to overturn it to call him out. Not sure. Now the call is out. Is there enough to call him safe?
Here comes the call. Out. What a play by Pena.
How about that guy? Unbelievable throw. Unbelievable throw. This guy's something else. Manny Pena behind home plate. He's caught 2 of them tonight. Good jump. Look how quick. Right on the money. That is huge. And a good tag by Saladino.
So the call stands 2 down. Pena has gunned down 2 base stealers in this game. A 1-run game. Flaherty, the pinch hitter, continues his at-bat and takes a second strike. So it's a ball and 2 strikes. They're on their feet at Miller Park. 31,452. Looking for the final out as the Brewers are trying to push their lead in the National League Central Division and make it 2 in a row against the East leaders, the Atlanta Braves. Here's the 1-2. Saw come out. Game over. Brewers a winner for the 2nd straight game over the Atlanta Braves and the 5th consecutive game on this homestand. What a job from Dan Jennings, Jeremy Jeffress, and Corey Knebel in a 1-run game to secure this victory.
Yeah, just incredible stuff from this Milwaukee Brewers ball club. I mean, you know, they made the 5-run 3rd inning stand up. Jacob Barnes struggled, but how about the rest of the bullpen? And Manny Pena, that throwing arm, has bailed the Brewers out once again tonight.
Manny Pena, one of the big heroes. Craig Counsell's team wins again, 5-4 the final. Peralta picks up the win. He is now 4-1. Knebel his 11th save. Brewers Live postgame from the booth on the way.